Welcome to Red Eye. Hello, everyone. I am Tom Shillue. Let's check in with TV's Andy Levy at the Red Eye Tease Deck. Andy?
Thanks, Tom. Coming up on the big show, Libertarian presidential candidate Gary Johnson fails to name his favorite foreign leader. I'm sure those foreign leaders will be very offended after they find out who Gary Johnson is. Plus, a college student prints out her roommate's subtweets about her and puts them on a bulletin board. Oh man, if I did that, you'd be so screwed, Kevin. And finally, the world's first motorized ride-along suitcase lets you zoom through the airport at 5 miles an hour. I guess this will come in handy after you're exhausted from the TSA questioning you for 2 hours about why your luggage is making that weird noise. Back to you, Tom.
Thanks, Andy. Let's welcome our guests. Can you be beautiful and deplorable? The answer is yes. Columnist and author of the new book, Government Gone Wild, Kristin Tate. He's doing a lot better than his brothers, poor and penniless Lowry. Editor of National Review, Rich Lowry. She's interviewed more celebrities than the LAPD. Entertainment correspondent, Jill Dobson.
That's true.
And he looks like Adrian Brody reading mean tweets about his nose. Sitting right next to me is comedian Dave Smith. Okay, let's start the show. Mary J. Blige recently interviewed Hillary Clinton. Yes, the multi-platinum artist sat down with the multi-scandal politician for her radio show on Apple Music. The interview airs on Friday, but Apple has released a preview.
If an officer stops you, always be polite and never ever run away. Promise mama you'll keep your hands inside. Is it a gun? Is it a knife?
Eventually, she got down to asking Clinton questions.
It ain't no secret. It ain't no secret. No secret, my friend. You can get killed just for living in your American skin. Oh.
No questions. Okay, the clip is mostly Mary J. Blige singing the Bruce Springsteen song American Skin to Hillary. Some people thought it was uncomfortable, but I didn't think so. If anything, it reminded me of a great interview I did recently. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. I felt he was looking into his imagination. Dave, no. First of all, what do you think, Mary J. Blige? I'm not sure. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the interview.
Yeah, I guess me too. I can't believe that's real. I can't believe that wasn't a Saturday Night Live spoof. I think everybody, I don't know what's going on this election. I think our government is trolling the American people. I don't believe any of this.
But you can't have too much Mary J. Blige singing, can you?
It's not just the Mary J. Blige singing. First off, I didn't recognize the song at first, and it just sounded like she was singing her thoughts about police brutality to Hillary Clinton. It's not the singing; it's Hillary's intense nodding. You know, this acting of "I feel your pain."
Yes.
It's everything that's horrible about her.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I mean, I think, Rich, do you think that Mary J. Blige will want to sit down with Donald Trump?
Yeah, she should. If this is going to be fair journalism or not.
Yeah.
I have a lot of sympathy for Hillary in this instance because I don't think, how do you appear not awkward when someone is sitting that close to you and singing? I mean, what do you do to look natural? And Hillary is not good at looking natural even in a natural circumstance.
Exactly. Well, Kristin, what do you think? I mean, we got to give her a chance, right? The interview's not out yet, but it does look a little silly from this angle.
Yeah, you know, Tom, I've always thought that if I could meet a presidential candidate weeks before an election, I would sit there and sing a creepy and awkward song about police brutality to her face on TV. But I think Hillary actually knew it was awkward, though, and she wasn't even listening to the song. I think she was literally sitting there thinking, how should I respond to this in such a way that I can boost my voter appeal? Like, should I laugh? Should I sit there frowning? Should I act like I'm enjoying the song? The whole thing was just super awkward and embarrassing for everyone involved, including the viewers, especially viewers who are Hillary Clinton supporters.
Well, not our viewers. I feel like I feel like it's very exciting to watch this. Jill, the song was a Bruce Springsteen song.
Right.
And he's famous for not letting people use his songs. Do you think he gave the okay to Mary J. Blige for this tune?
I think he did. This was in conjunction with iTunes, so I'm sure there was some sort of deal worked out. But what I'm confused about is Mary J. Blige sings the new theme song for The View. Now she seems to have her own talk show of sorts, and so I'm wondering, is her theme song sung by Joy Behar? I think that's where, when I see the full thing, that's what I'm looking for.
That would be wonderful. So she sings The View's theme song.
And it's new. She just recently recorded a theme song for The View, and now seems to have a competing talk show.
The View's theme song should just be all of those women talking over each other. Just so you get a feel of what the show's going to be.
We have some friends on The View. You know, Jedediah's over there now.
Yeah. I've done the panel here with Jedediah. She's quite a talent.
She is fantastic.
But
Jill, from the entertainment standpoint, what do you? I think Mary J. Blige, she wants to kind of go into this Oprah thing. She wants to be a television mogul, doesn't she? You think it's going to be big?
Apparently. She has a lot of fans. She's a super talented singer. So I think people are already interested in it. We're all kind of looking at this like, oh, we've never seen an interview conducted in song form. I want to know if Hillary will sing her response.
That's what we're all waiting for, right?
God, I hope not.
Kristin, did it move the needle at all closer toward Hillary for you?
I think Hillary did this to try to appear cool.
Yeah.
Because she's been told time and time again that she's like a stiff, unhip old lady. So she's like, I'm going to do this interview with, what's her name, Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, what is her name?
And then, it just doesn't work at all.
Doesn't work. Okay, moving on. Who's Gary Johnson's favorite foreign leader? Nobody told him this would be on the test.
Who's your favorite foreign leader?
Who's my favorite?
Just name anywhere in the country, any one of the continents, any country. Name one foreign leader that you respect and look up to. Anybody.
Mine was Shimon Peres.
No, okay, I'm talking about living. Go ahead. You got to do this. Anywhere, any continent. Canada, Mexico, Europe, over there, Asia, South America, Africa. Name a foreign leader that you respect.
I guess I'm having an Aleppo moment in the former president of Mexico.
But I'm giving you the whole world.
I know.
Anybody in the world you like. Anybody. Pick any leader.
The former president of Mexico.
Which one?
I'm having a brain.
Name anybody.
Fox.
That was from Wednesday night's Libertarian Town Hall. Is his voice getting higher every year? His career goes on.
Oh my God, that was a really uncomfortable clip. Can you play that Mary J. Blige interview again?
Johnson smoothed over the embarrassing episode by tweeting on Thursday afternoon, "It's been almost 24 hours and I still can't come up with a foreign leader I look up to." That's consistency. Of course, it's not the first time the former New Mexico governor has had trouble finding the right words.
I think I could stand up there for the whole debate and not say anything and emerge as a leader.
Now, I thought that was a little more articulate of an interview. Rich Lowry, what did you think of that interview in the park?
Well, it's a key political. The park was just horrific. I don't even think about the park. But the foreign leader, usually, it's a key political talent to be able to babble on a little bit, find your footing, change the subject. You don't look like the deer in the headlights, and then blurt out the own name of your gaffe.
Yes.
I'm having an Aleppo moment. It's not what the candidate's supposed to say. And we were having this conversation in the office the other day. Why couldn't we have gotten a better libertarian candidate? And then our reporter, who was at the Libertarian Convention, said, believe me, Gary Johnson was a head and shoulders above any other
Why couldn't we
libertarian
have
possibilities.
picked that fat naked guy to be our...
or John McAfee. I don't know. Does he have any baggage?
John McAfee, I mean, if you can get past that one murder accusation and the fact that his wife is a hooker, yes.
That's the problem. Okay, but what do you think? You're a libertarian. Are you, first of all, Rich, I think it's great that you guys sit around and talk in the office like this.
It's crazy. It's highfalutin conversation, let me tell you.
What do you think? I mean, I think Johnson, I like it. It's refreshing to see a guy when he doesn't know the answer to just open his eyes and stare like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, that is refreshing, I guess, in a way. It's definitely different. All right, look, you nailed it. It's not so much the blunder as it is how he handled that, and that he can't just give a sentence or two that demonstrates that he knows something after these moments. But to be fair, that is a little bit of a trick question to a libertarian because we don't like any heads of government.
That's right.
So, I mean, if you wanted to ask me head of a foreign government that I like, that'd be a tough question for me. You want to ask me one that I hate, I could rattle off 50 right now. But,
But you don't want to seem like a Debbie Downer, right?
Well, I mean, maybe he could have pivoted into leaders he doesn't like or something, or he could have said the UKIP party did a good job getting the Brexit, or, you know, he could have given some example.
Picked a party, right?
Nigel Farage or whoever.
Mm-hmm. Jill, I thought his answer was great. He said that guy from Mexico whose name I can't remember.
You know, it was a painful moment. I think Gary Johnson needs to take a note from girls who compete in pageants, because this happens to you one time on the stage at Miss Teen USA, and you learn to not just stand there and go, such as maps. You learn to pivot it, take something away, just talk for a minute until some idea pops into your head. Say something.
So I guess he doesn't have the pageant training. Should he get a little...
He should compete
a little
in a beauty
pageantry.
pageant.
What do you think,
It's
Kristin?
so bad for him. Like, poor Gary Johnson. Gary, you're drunk. Go home. I mean, Gary Johnson isn't the brightest crayon in the box, but he is so authentic and so damn lovable. Sadly, though, I mean, I think he's had 3 strikes now. The first strike was Aleppo. The second strike was the tongue thing in the park.
Yeah.
And this is the 3rd strike here. I
But
mean,
he was joking with the tongue. He was just kind of making, you know, he's trying to make her laugh.
Good Tom.
It was actually a pretty good interview if you take into account how high he was.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he says he hasn't been doing any marijuana since he started running. But
Good
what is
for him.
Rich? To me, both of these guys, Weld and Gary Johnson, are they being true libertarians? They seem to me just being like moderate Republicans. Is that what's happening?
Exactly. Yeah. And Gary Johnson, if you have a libertarian candidate, make him a down-the-line, really principled libertarian. And Gary Johnson is not that. He's not a competent candidate. He's a very nice man. I mean, I find his willingness to admit error and make fun of himself, all that's very endearing. But, you know, he's at 6 and 7%, or maybe 10%, and headed to 4 or 5.
Yes, well, hopefully, I think his schedule is going to free up soon. We love having him on the show, so hopefully he'll be back. Okay, SNL returns with this weekend with a brand new Trump. Yes, Stephen Baldwin's brother, Alec, will be playing the part of the humble, lovable billionaire. SNL insiders say it was between Baldwin and this dog. That's cute, isn't it? I think they made the wrong call. With the first debate dominating the news this week, the pressure is on for Alec to deliver a strong performance. I would hate to see him have to go back to his old job screaming gay slurs at reporters. Kristin, what do you think? Alec Baldwin, have you seen any Alec Baldwin movies?
No. And I thought it was a terrible choice. I mean, I do know a bit about Alec Baldwin. I know he's self-obsessed, he's obnoxious, and he can't get along with anyone. And we all know Trump is the opposite of all of those things, Tom.
He is.
But I have to say, I found myself a little bit attracted to the Alec Baldwin dressed as Trump.
Yeah.
I hate Alec Baldwin, so that's saying something. Is it because I love Trump? I don't know. Science can't answer some of these deep questions, Tom, but I thought he looked good.
Maybe someday science can answer. That picture of him in the makeup, Trump is, what, he's 70 or he's in his 70s. Baldwin's getting up there, but look, he looks better than either of them, doesn't he?
He might be out-trumping Trump.
I'd vote for that guy without any hesitation.
Why not? I mean, look at him. He's the golden boy. What do you think? Baldwin, is he the right choice? You know, we have a great... John DiDomenico, he does the Trump on our show.
He would have been a good choice.
Is there a better Trump than that guy?
I think that guy is hands down the best.
The best.
Trump I've heard. But Alec Baldwin, who I don't like his politics much, but he's a really funny guy and a great actor. I think he'll be good at this. And she is fantastic at playing Hillary Clinton. So I think it'll probably be pretty funny.
Yes. Did you see Mara Wilson? The actress from that, from Mrs. Doubtfire and these other, she tweeted. She gave him a little shade online. Did you see that?
She did. I did not. I'm going to pivot.
Okay.
That's what Gary Johnson do. I'm going to talk some more about Alec Baldwin because he is great at impersonations. Have you seen him do Bill Cosby? He's amazing as Bill Cosby. He turns right into him.
That impression is not as asked for anymore.
I know, it's true. I never know where to go when people bring up Cosby lately.
It gets awkward very quickly.
I know.
I'm sorry about
you just
that.
want to be
Sorry
like,
bring
how
the show
great
down.
was that sitcom?
It was good. You can't take away from the show, can you?
I think it's like one of the best sitcoms ever.
It really is.
It was a good
Okay. Rich, Did we talk to you about this subject yet? Did we talk about Alec Baldwin?
No, yeah, I've been waiting for my turn patiently here. I think a problem with this is going to be these skits are best when there's something odd in the debate and they draw it out and make it exaggerated and ridiculous. But how are you going to do that with this debate?
What can you do?
Two characters. How can you make it more ridiculous?
I don't know. I mean, that's their problem. You remember Sarah Palin? They went all crazy for the Sarah Palin thing, but really, what was she doing? She was kind of just acting exactly like Sarah Palin, right? Why was that so funny?
No, here's what I think. I think the more that people hate the candidate, the better job they do of skewering them and being funny on SNL. Tina Fey hated Sarah Palin, and Alec Baldwin, I'm sure, hates Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So I think he'll do a good job of skewering him, and it'll be funny.
Although I think these two guys have a lot in common. I think, when it comes down, it's like, when the villain says, you and I are very much alike. I feel like that's the way Baldwin would be with Trump. I think they would understand each other. They're kind of alpha dogs, aren't they?
Yeah, and actually I think Alec Baldwin, for as offended as left-wing people get about the things Trump said about women, I think Alec Baldwin has some pretty bad ones himself. And didn't his MSNBC show get canceled because he got right in that woman's face?
He has a lot of problems, but you know what? This is the whole thing. When you're liberal, you never have to say you're sorry. Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, this is one of the worst things about political correctness is it becomes this hammer that the left can hit you with, but then they're very selective about who they hit with this hammer. So, for example, Ron Paul, the newsletters from 30 years ago that he published always come up, but Harry Reid, I think, what did he say about Obama? That he has a Negro dialect or something like that. And this is just not a problem for them. So yeah, it's hypocrisy.
I was happy though that they made Hillary look crazy in this promo. Did you see the crazy eyes?
Yes.
The actress lady actually made Hillary look kind of crazy.
Well, that's the thing. If they go really hard
Hillary
on Trump, they're going to have to go, they can't go that soft on Hillary because
they've gone pretty hard on Hillary. The Hillary's a bit good, don't you think?
Yeah, and she just won an Emmy for her role on Saturday Night Live, Kate McKinnon. So
yes. Although it is
she's known to
lovable.
bring-
There's something lovable about that Hillary of hers.
She sings.
Lovably
She
insane.
sings. She'll sing back.
But
to
they
Mary J.
are,
Blige.
they're obviously, they're to the left at Saturday Night Live, but they were very hard on Obama in 2008. They were hard on Hillary this year, so they're not completely
Listen,
unfair.
of all the shows, I think SNL and Jimmy Fallon, they have funny stuff on both sides. You agree with that? And of course, Red Eye
I was going to
is
say
the
that I
most.
think Obama's been the least mocked major presidential candidate and president ever. I just think there's been a sensitivity there. People don't want to go there. They don't think he's funny because he's so right and so just. Whereas Hillary and Trump, people are much more comfortable going after them.
Well, it's going to be fun. Okay, coming up, the worst roommate since Robert Durst. College girl drama when we return. This may be a first. Two college roommates don't get along. A student at Penn State found out her roommate was tweeting mean things about her. Here's how she responded. Jessie Jeannie explains, today I found all the subtweets my roommate has made about me, so I printed them out and hung them up in our dorm, heart emoji. These are some of the subtweets she printed out. 2 weeks down and I already hate my roommate. My roommate's situation is a horror story. And if you don't believe me, ask Britt. Update, my roommate has whooping cough. Britt is talking about rooming together next year, and I'm actually crying at the thought of having a good roommate, heart emoji. Jessie Jeannie's tweet went viral. It's been favorited over 300,000 times. But she says her roommate got payback by calling campus police on her for having weed in their room. We've reached out to Britt for comment, but haven't heard back. Jill, what do you think here? This is,
I love this so much. First of all, my college roommate hated me.
Really?
Turns out, borrow my clothes anytime, not meant to be taken literally. That's just to walk across campus in your roommate's clothes every day. She'll get annoyed.
She said, borrow my clothes anytime.
And I was like, okay, this is new. Let me just take the tag off and wear it.
Yeah.
I was styling that first term freshman year.
You should have been.
But
She
hated.
invited you.
Deeply hated.
Look.
Yeah. But my next roommate, I figured it out a little better. Also, I learned what subtweets tweets are today. That's a tweet where you don't directly mention the person by their Twitter handle, and that way they're less likely to see it. So she didn't really want her roommate to see these, and yet she publicly put them on Twitter. So of course it's going to come back and bite her.
It's true. Although I don't think you're less likely to see it. It's very easy to write Shillue in Twitter and see what people are saying about Shillue.
She's not the cleverest.
Yes, Kristin, why can't you girls just get along?
I don't know, Tom, but look, the moral of this story is that when you say anything today, you have to expect that the world is going to hear about it. You have a binary decision. You either keep your mouth shut or you say something and assume everyone will find out. In college, I learned this the hard way. You know, I texted a friend and I told her about how I would take the cat poop out of the litter box of my roommate's cat and put the poop next to my roommate's bed. I did this many times because I hated the cat. And my friend thought it was funny, so she texted it to more friends, and before I knew it, my secret was out. Everyone knew, including my roommate.
How close to the bed?
Pretty close.
Like
pretty
on
close.
the bed or just close to the bed?
Just close to it. And everyone found out, including my roommate. And that's how I learned there is no such thing as an internet secret.
There certainly
life
isn't.
lesson right here.
And now on national TV, Rich, what's worse, putting poop very close to the bed, or spreading the tale about putting poop next to the bed?
I got to think about this. I'm having a Aleppo moment on this question. Clearly, putting the poop near the bed, I just have to say. Cat poop. Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry.
The cat was miserable. I had no choice.
But in that case,
you could have a pet in the. Was this a dorm? Or?
It was like an apartment on campus.
Oh.
I don't even think she was allowed to have the cat.
Yeah.
Well, I think subtweeting is like a barbaric practice, and people shouldn't do it. But you do it all the time. So you're like, oh, I don't want to engage with this person. But usually they do see it. But I don't know why she felt compelled to tweet, because you look at her tweets and they're like 3 likes. I mean, who's she tweeting to?
Yes.
And then it's very interesting, the story, the juxtaposition with the old and the new, because you print out the tweets and then you put it on the bulletin board, you know, like such a 20th century artifact. But then you tweet it and you get 20,000 followers. I think as of now she has 22,000 followers, so she's a social media star.
Yeah.
So she got rid of the roommate who hates her, and she's a social media star.
It's fantastic. It's a happy ending.
The same thought. There's something about putting tweets up on a bulletin board. It's like, why don't you just like carve it into a rock? Or it's weird.
It's old school.
Smoke signals.
At first, when I first saw the tweets, I was like, this is probably just someone, like her roommate's probably not even that bad, and she's just being dramatic. But then when you told me the story about her ratting her out about having pot, I was like, yeah, her roommate kind of sucks.
Yeah, see,
like, that's a bad college roommate. I hope she goes and lives with Brett.
That touches a nerve there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, she's just getting, again, so what is worse is was the original tweets, which essentially they were not that public. She was just, she was in general terms. Or was it this thing that went how can she complain about subtweets when she's causing this viral project?
I'll be honest, I might have missed that question, but why wasn't she tagging Brett? Was Britt not on Twitter?
Britt the roommate or Britt the friend?
No, Britt's her
the
friend.
third
But she was
party.
subtweeting Britt too.
Dude, Britt's her friend. Follow the story.
Yeah.
I still don't know.
Are you a journalist, Lowry, or not?
This is where national reviews.
We may have to have Britt on next week.
You know who you should really feel sorry for in the story, though, is the RA.
Oh,
who's like between these two people, texting them to calm down, then she tweets the image of the text, and just on it goes.
RA's trying to get an MA in psychology.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
They're just trying to get cheap living, aren't they? The RAs. All right, coming up, a motorized suitcase. Apple reveals its latest game-changing product. But first, halftime with TV's Andy Levy. Oh, hey, welcome back. Time to find out what we got wrong and what we missed from TV's Andy Levy over in the Red Eye News Deck.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
How was that?
I don't know, Andy. I was surprised that we were already back.
Oh, okay. Even after our Allison counted down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
She did in one, and then I realized after one comes 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. A little peek behind the scenes for the people at home. The Mary J. Blige video. Dave, you said you can't believe this was real.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my lifetime, I will never see anything as awkward as that.
I was watching it when it aired during the debates, and I said out loud, "This can't be real. This can't be real."
Yeah. When she grabbed her hand at the end, as she's still singing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And Hillary's nods, like, yes, I hear the powerful lyrics.
Well, you brought that up, and you said how she's trying to act like she feels her pain. The difference the stark difference between her and Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton would have had a tear rolling down his face. He absolutely would have.
Bill Clinton would have been playing the sax.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Kristin, you said you always thought if you interviewed a presidential candidate weeks before the election, you would sing a creepy song about police brutality.
Yes.
Do you have any particular song in mind?
The one that lady sung. I would sing that. That was the exact one that I had thought of.
She has a name, okay? It's Little Kim.
Jill, I thought you might appreciate this. I just saw an interview with Blige. She says she will never again sing in an interview.
Did she apologize for tucking her bangs into her glasses?
She did not. She did not. She did not. I thought that was on fleek.
Perhaps it was. I might not
think
be
I'm the
with
first person to
times.
say on fleek in the last 11 or 12 months. Gary Johnson can't name a foreign leader he likes. Rich, you said you were talking in your office about why we couldn't get a better libertarian candidate, and then someone said, well, Gary Johnson is it. What about Bill Weld?
You know, there was a conspiracy to try to flip the ticket, and the person behind this conspiracy had a lot of people lined up, and my understanding is then he had to go talk to Gary Johnson about it.
Okay.
It didn't work out.
Didn't work out? All right. Dave, you said it's not so much the blunder, but how Johnson handled it. And then you said it's, of course, sort of a trick question to a libertarian because we don't like any heads of state. I would have been okay if his answer was none of them.
Yes.
But he would have had to have said that.
Yep. I agree with you. He didn't handle it that great.
Yeah. Yeah. I also, Dave, I don't think saying the UKIP party would have been a good idea.
Yeah, that was probably bad. That was me. That was my Aleppo moment.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Kristin, you said Johnson has had 3 strikes now between his Aleppo moment, the thing with the tongue, and then this. The good news is that libertarians generally oppose 3 strikes laws.
There you go.
So I think well played.
He's okay. Yeah. Rich, I don't know if you agree with this, and tell me if you think I'm crazy here, but I have been saying for a while now, I just don't think Johnson is going to be president.
Probably right. Okay. This is another indication you need to get into the punditry game.
No, I'm thinking about it. Alec Baldwin as Trump. Kristin, you said Baldwin is self-obsessed, obnoxious, and can't get along with anyone, and that Trump is the opposite of that. I wasn't sure that was true, so I did some research. Opposite means diametrically different.
Andy, you're a good-looking guy, and I like you, but you are so wrong.
I didn't hear
You're just
anything
wrong.
after good looking.
Tom, we need a fact checker for the fact checker.
Honestly, heard nothing after that. Jill, Tom brought up Mara Wilson throwing some shade at Alec Baldwin, and you said she did. And then you basically admitted you had no idea.
Yeah, no. I have no idea what you're talking about. Sorry.
So you lied.
I
came on our show and lied.
I nodded at the host, and then I changed the subject.
Okay.
That's okay. I didn't know who Britt was.
All right.
It's all right.
That's true.
I didn't know what a subtweet was.
I didn't know who the singing lady was.
You had a very uninformed panel.
Yes.
I'm sorry. A lot of Aleppo moments.
Tom, you said if they go really hard on Trump, then they're going to have to go really hard on Hillary, too.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
I mean,
They don't have to.
well, just to save face or something.
They might.
Make it seem like they're
Right. Okay. Rich, you asked how can they make it more ridiculous than the actual debate was. The thing is, they don't have to make it more ridiculous for it to be funny. They just need to make it funny.
Good point.
I think so.
That's right. They can make it less ridiculous and more funny.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
What's that?
I stand corrected.
Okay. College student puts up all her roommates' subtweets. Tom, you said it's really easy to search for Shillue in Twitter and find out what people are tweeting about you.
Yeah.
Oh. Did not realize you did the name search thing. By the way, anyone out there, you can subtweet me all you want. I do not do name searches. I don't even want to read the things that people tweet at me. Rich, you said as of now she has over 20,000 followers, which is true. I checked out her timeline. She doesn't follow me, which I thought was odd. Her timeline now is almost 100% her defending weed from people yelling at her about it.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
She's probably a Gary Johnson supporter, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And she actually makes really good points. She's shooting people down with facts, and I enjoy that. She also says, quote, people I effing hated in high school are now all claiming we were friends just because I'm internet famous.
Enjoy your 5 minutes, honey.
She says that too. She's well aware. Dave, you said her roommate kind of sucks for ratting her out about pot. Yeah, there's no kinda about it.
Yeah, no, kind is just one of those things us young people say for no reason.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, but I mean, look, I'm not saying you have to smoke pot, but
Right,
if
of
you're
course.
19
Yeah.
and you're calling campus security
Yeah.
on your roommate for having pot,
Yeah.
pretty lame.
And Jessica claims that she had cleared the smoking pot thing with the roommate, and the roommate said she was fine with it, and now she's having trouble.
I'm sure Jessica just needed it for medicinal purposes.
I believe that's true.
Glaucoma.
Yeah.
It's affecting a lot of young people.
A lot
nowadays.
of freshmen get that.
A lot of 18-year-olds with glaucoma.
Yeah, no, it's a ton of that. And also back pain.
Yes.
Yeah. Tom, you asked how she can be complaining about subtweeting when she's doing this and going viral.
Yeah.
But she didn't plan on that.
Well,
She put up she thought it was funny. She put up a tweet and then everyone picked it up.
I think. Did you see the artwork she put in? Those hearts she drew?
Yeah.
She was bucking for virality.
Oh, that's what you think? Yeah.
Not to be confused with virility.
Yeah. And just lastly, Rich, I don't know, for some reason, it's kind of perfect that you are most concerned about the RA. I don't know why, it just seems kind of perfect. Are you voting for Trump yet?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
you still
Keep
holding out?
checking.
How come
Checking.
National Review never took a strong position on that?
Yeah. I heard Charles Cook is folding.
No.
Really?
Yeah, I heard he's going to vote for Trump.
Isn't that just like the British?
Yep, absolutely. I am done.
Thank you, Andy. Coming up, one of the most overrated foods. You won't believe what some story on the internet says. It's about time someone took guacamole down a peg. USA Today recently published a piece titled "The Definitive Takedown of 11 Popular Completely Overrated Foods." The writer made it clear not all the foods on the list were bad. They have just been put on an unduly high pedestal. Someone has to knock them over in the name of justice. At number 11, sriracha. Then deep dish pizza, bacon, tacos, acai, quinoa, caramel apples, chocolate-covered strawberries, potato chips, ice cream, and the number one overrated food, guacamole. Well, isn't that something? What do you think? Jill, women love guacamole.
It's true.
Why do women love guacamole?
Because we tell ourselves it's a healthy green. And then we dip the tortilla chips in there and
That's
undo all
what
the
it
good
is,
work.
right?
And then we have avocado toast in the morning.
That's what I'm saying.
little
You'll
avocado in our
avocado
salad.
anything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're keeping the avocado farmers
This
in
list,
business.
she scored some points against guacamole, I hate to say, because the browning effect is really bad. Because, I buy guacamole, I love guacamole, but unless you get that whole container in one sitting, it's completely ruined.
No, that's not a problem for me. It's never been a
Rich, do you
problem.
do that thing where you go to the restaurant and you make them make the guacamole in front of your
that's
face?
awesome. That's awesome.
I mean, there's something powerful about that, isn't it? Okay, let's get off the guacamole. What should have been on this list, Kristin, that wasn't?
Slim Jims. Everyone loves them, and the sight of them makes me want to barf. Or maybe what are those things? It's like grilled. What are those little fish that are uncooked called?
What, you mean sushi?
No, anchovies.
Oh, yeah.
I hate those because you peel back the can and you see the little beady eyes and the smell permeates the room. Or maybe, Tom, Swedish fish Oreos. The world is going crazy over those, but they are disgusting. If you remember, I brought some here and we all tried them and they were gross.
They were gross, although I think Slim Jims are great. I don't think she understands. It's kind of a guy food, isn't it? You get together with the guys, you eat Slim Jims.
It's American. I don't know why you're assigning this gender specific to all these food, like guacamole's for women. Everybody likes guacamole. I think what bothers me the most was ice cream being described as overrated. Ice cream?
Ice cream.
Who doesn't like, if you don't like ice cream, you're a terrorist and you should be drone
That's not what I
bombed.
said, though. It wasn't an attack on ice cream. It just said ice cream is best when you have lots of toppings on it or when it's a complement to something else.
Which
And
is
that's
pretty
a
Rich,
fair point.
I just want to ask, do you have a secret pen name that you sometimes log under?
Charlotte.
And does anyone dispute quinoa? And what is it? You know, my wife makes me eat it. I still don't know what it is.
That I agree with.
Yes, that's why I think that those quinoa and acai, or whatever, nobody really likes those. I don't think they're rated. They're not
That's
rated.
right. So the point isn't just whether you're taking them down a notch, but are they overrated? So ice cream, I think, is rated right where ice cream should be rated.
Yeah.
It's great, and it is great. And I reject the idea that ice creams can't stand alone. When you go, kids, we're going for ice cream. No one's like, can we put cookies?
Yeah, but it's
in
because they
there?
want the topping.
They do. They love the toppings. Although I'm a vanilla guy myself. If I do have ice cream, I have a single scoop of vanilla. How about you, Kristin?
Me too, Tom.
Yeah, that's
Plain
it.
Jane's.
Boom.
Well, I think that this whole blog is stupid because it's
That was
based.
almost as awkward as the Gary Johnson on the bench tongue thing.
No, but here's the problem with this blog, Tom. It's all based on what this one chick thinks, and why do we care what she thinks? Like, any of us could come up with a list of 10 foods.
But you could say that about any opinion article. I'm defensive. This is what I do for a business. You know, you put your opinion out there and create a debate.
That's what you do.
What's
I mean,
wrong with
Kristin, she wrote a book. Did you ever run into anybody who looks at your book and they say, what do we care what you think, Kristin Tate? What do you tell them?
No, they all love the book, and I encourage everyone to buy it. Stores near you.
All right, coming up, a new way to get around the airport or the world's saddest motorcycle gang. Find out next. Coming up tomorrow on the next Red Eye, Anthony Cumia, Ben Kissel, and Jessica Tarlov. Luggage used to just sit there, not take you to your gate. Not anymore. An American entrepreneur has invented a carry-on that carries you. It's called MotoBag, a motorized ride-along suitcase for on-the-go adults. Take a look at their video.
Today, we have the MotoBag. It's 3 times faster than walking. It's TSA and FAA compliant, so you can actually fly with it.
The MotoBag, which costs about $1,000, comes with a motor, a steering pole, wow, and brakes. It needs brakes, right? Could be dangerous. How about that sad sack guy sweating his way through the airport?
I mean, look, we need to bring back bullying in this country in a really, really bad way. Like, it may cost us this great nation if we don't. I don't care what it saves you. Did you see how ridiculous those 2 people looked on this thing? By the way, at the beginning of the segment, when they show the pictures of you on vacation, Tom, it's only like 3 pictures, and it's not clear that they're different places.
That's true.
At all. Like, it seems like you went to one beach and snapped 3 different angles.
Are you saying that when I emailed our producer my pictures, I just selected the 3 in a row of me on the beach? I might have done that. It's hard to scroll through, though, and look for pictures. Kristin, I don't know if this looks like a comfortable experience riding on a suitcase like that.
I think this is just what Americans want. They want to glide around and not exert any energy. And they are stylish, Tom. I think the next wave of these, they'll have like, leopard print ones for cheesy New Jersey girls. They'll have like ones with extra padding for obese people so the zipper doesn't ride up into your butt. It'll be great. We're trying to get to that Matrix level where we can all just kind of float around in warm fluid and just be stimulated without exerting energy. And this is one step closer to that. This is
right.
Great.
It's like that movie WALL-E. Remember that? Everyone riding around, gliding. But Rich, I don't know any airports that are this spacious and clean and people-free.
I love the video. One, like 5 miles per hour, looks so fast in that video. Two, I just love, and you alluded to this earlier, how they make the guy who's just carrying his luggage like millions of people do every day look like it's the most uncomfortable, awkward experience anyone could ever possibly have. But being crouched down on this little scooter is just the greatest thing.
And everyone walking around doesn't even look at the person. Like, it's a totally normal thing.
Yeah, it doesn't faze them. Jill, I don't think people realize you can ride regular luggage through the airport. You just have to kick.
That's true. That's true. I do think it's interesting that we all complain about needing to lose the last 5 pounds, and yet we'll do anything to avoid burning a calorie.
Yeah.
Like, we won't kick our suitcase. We'll sit on it and use a motor.
Well, when you on the escalator, do you stand there or do you walk up the other side?
Walking.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Does it bother you, the people who stop in front of you?
No. I understand some people want to take a little break.
You know what I
keep
do?
Moving.
I go right behind them.
Oh, you sniff. You do the Donald
Yeah,
Trump
I breathe
debate,
right
Smith.
behind them just to show them they shouldn't be standing on the escalator.
Thanks. That really wouldn't have worked if you had just described it. So, thanks.
Right. Very special thanks, Kristin Tate, Rich Lowry, Jill Dobson, and Dave Smith. That does it for me. I'm Tom Shillue. I'll see you next time.